All you need to do is execute your edge without any errors and not give a fuck about P&L. And this is the part where you can lose your profitability. Once you get those consistent wins coming in as a human being, chances are you'd start to feel invincible. You subconsciously think you can read the market so well, and then you take premature trades. Once this happens, you start to take unnecessary losses. Because you think you're a profitable trader now, you try to fix your drawdown. You do this by risking more on your next couple trades, and for some reason, they don't go as planned. Now you're in a mess. You just moved from overconfidence to extreme fear. Everyone talks about the dream of becoming a profitable trader, but no one talks about what really happens when you get there. Is it endless wins and financial freedom, or are there hidden challenges no one warns you about? Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you an insider view on the real journey to profitability, what to avoid, and how to scale your success without falling into common traps. For me, profitability didn't actually start with a massive win. When I first noticed I was getting profitable was one day I checked my trading journal, and for some reason it was starting to look like my backtest journal. All my trades had the followed rules tag. While backtesting, my system always comes out profitable because I'm following the rules that makes the strategy profitable. Now, this wasn't always the case. Before getting to this point, I used to always struggle with being able to consistently win trades. Back then, if I'm in a losing streak, I'll feel like my system wasn't working again. But if I go back to backtest that same period I was losing, I would see that I should have made money based on my strategy. I really don't want to go into all the causes of my unprofitability, so this video doesn't get too long. Besides, I've already addressed what makes traders unprofitable. In this video showing up here or here is gonna be in one of these two places. I spoke about 6 major things that keep traders unprofitable. You don't have to go watch it right away. I'll leave a link to the video in the description so you could just go watch it right after. You don't have to go watch it right away. I'll leave a link to the video in the description so you could go watch it after you're done with this one. So let's continue our story. My expectation has always been that being a profitable trader is when you start to make crazy money in the market and you can finally afford the luxury or the cars you always wanted. But that's not actually the case. Let me paint a clear picture of what profitability actually looks like. If you start a business now, like today, and you open your doors for customers to start coming in, the first stage of revenue or growth you would notice with the business is probably the fact that the business can now foot the cost of operations with the revenue generated from sales. This cost of operation may initially not include the salary of employees. Probably you still have to pay that out of your pocket as a small business owner, but the revenue generated can at least keep the lights on and cover the cost of delivering orders. Eventually, as time passes, you'd notice that you don't really need to pay employees out of your pocket anymore. The business is a big girl now. She can handle salary of employees as well as cost of operations. Fast forward to a couple months ahead, the business now generates enough revenue to increase the size of labor, pay all employees, cover the cost of operations, and still have hundreds of thousands left. Now you, the owner, can start allocating some money to pay yourself. Probably 2-3 years down the line, the business can afford to run on its own without you, allowing you to take time off and probably a vacation. Slowly you progress to where you need to start getting your managers official cars and maybe some pocket allowances aside their basic salary. And this goes on and on as the business grows. Now you see that steady growth is similar to the reality of profitability in trading. You don't make $1 million in your first year of being profitable. It usually starts out with a couple $100 here and there consistently. For me, I was able to withdraw $200 to $300 consistently at the end of the week. As time went on, it grew to $1,000 withdrawals. I eventually grew to 4 to 5k withdrawals at the end of the month. Now I'm at a phase where I can easily pull out $6,000 to $7,000 on just one winning trade. Next year we are definitely 10xing that shit. What I'm trying to make you understand is, initially it's baby progress you'd see. Yours might start with you noticing that you're no longer blowing accounts to a point where it now feels impossible to blow accounts, but you're really not making profits yet. You're somewhere around break even. You need some guidance and adjustments to your trading. Once the reason for that ceiling of break-even is fixed, you start to end the week profitable. Although it may be really small money, it could be $50, but it adds up. You might even make mistakes and go down a bit, but now you're starting to have a glimpse of what works, so you're gonna come back up. You literally see your P&L statement look so good and you wonder if it was you who actually took those trades. At first it's going to feel like it's luck, but after you do it multiple times, you just realize that it's your new reality. You're fucking profitable. But as you know, life is not always straightforward. Challenges must surface. Does this mean you can lose your profitability? Well, yes and no. Let me explain. I did not get profitable by chance. Nobody does. That's why you've probably had big wins that you ended up giving back to the market. Profitability in trading is a byproduct of following certain principles that govern the act of making money trading. To make those consistent profits, You subconsciously followed your trading plan and executed with no errors. You somewhat careless about the money, whether profit or loss. You detached from the money in the trading accounts. You were not keen about winning or losing a trade. You were just mindful about making sure you flawlessly executed your edge, using a predetermined risk on every trade, and not be happy or sad when the trade goes against you or in your favor. A combination of these actions is the exact reason why any trader makes money consistently. Principally, if I do all this, then what could still go wrong? And this is the part where you can lose your profitability. Overconfidence. In as much as overconfidence is such an overlooked trait in our everyday activities, it can lead to devastating losses in trading. Once you get those consistent wins coming in, as a human being, chances are you'd start to feel invincible. You get into a state of euphoria whereby you subconsciously think you can read the market so well, and then you take premature trades. You take trades based on intuition. Once this happens, you start to take unnecessary losses. Now this is the funniest. Because you think you're a profitable trader now and you shouldn't be on the losing side, you try to fix your drawdown. You do this by risking more on your next couple trades, and for some reason they don't go as planned. Now you're in a mess. You just moved from overconfidence to extreme fear. Fear of going back to a losing trader, because at this point your P&L is not looking funny. Now because you're terrified, you then become tied to every trade outcome. You're looking forward to the next winning trade that will redeem you. And just like that, you're back to becoming an unprofitable trader. Because as I explained earlier, you've tapped out of what makes us consistent money in the market. You're now once again eager to make money. And in no time, you think your strategy is not working. The moment you try to change your strategy, I'm sorry, we've lost a trader. What if overconfidence is not your issue? What if you don't get overconfidence? Can something else go wrong? Yes, of course. This one happens to people like me who want those that doubted them to hide their faces when we are driving past in our whips. Like Davido sang, what was the song? Davido sang, if you no get money, hide your face. Oh my God. So the problem people like us face is trying to get rich too fast. We tend to want to size up too fast and increase our risk when our pocket or capital is not ready for that leap. What ends up happening is we then get too attached to every trade outcome, due to the fact that if a trade is lost, it's going to be a financial blow, and if a trade is won, we've probably made 10 times what we usually make in one trade. And more often than not, you start to take stupid setups. It's not random. This is happening because of your attention is on the money, and that breaks the principle of detach from your trade outcomes. If you try to size up too fast when your capital isn't fit yet, or your mind isn't ready to weather such numbers, you subconsciously start taking premature trades, or you second guessing your setups after a couple big losses, which then makes you miss trades, and in turn that would give birth to FOMO, and you just officially got fucked. So this is how you scale safely. Let's say you've been trading with a $1,000 account and you've been risking 3% per trade, meaning you're always willing to lose $30 on any given trade. Now you want to scale. You can up your risk to 5% if you're in net profit on the account. 5% just increases your risk appetite, and now you're seeing a bigger loss. The next thing to do is work on increasing your capital. Probably deposit another 1k or $500 and do what? Still risk 5%. If you make 10R on a 2k account risking 5% per trade, you just made $1,000. Now withdraw that money and go aggressive with it. You understand that all you need to do is execute your edge without any errors and not give a fuck about P&L. Besides, you still have your 2k main capital, which I don't recommend you should be trading while you're trying to flip. In my earlier days, I did not like to flip and trade my main accounts at the same time. Now I do it because I'm tougher mentally. So your 1k account you're trying to flip, you risk 10 to 15% per trade. That can help you double the account with just some winning trades. So what do you do with the money? Deposit some in the main account and squander the rest. Yeah, you heard me right. Squander the rest. You need to learn to pay yourself. And until you actually spend this money on yourself, you could probably get a new phone, get gadgets, get some clothes. When you spend this money on yourself, you're going to feel good about yourself, and it's just going to give you that extra confidence you need on charts. So it's important to pay yourself, my people. So I just explained a slower and steadier route on how to scale up. At this point, it should have occurred to you how minor a trading strategy is compared to what actually makes traders profitable. That explains why you've learned a million strategies, yet you're still struggling. We are playing a mental game here. If you don't stay grounded in the principles and remain disciplined, you'd fall off without even knowing it. And when you've fallen, you fall even deeper when you struggle to come out of your mess. That's why I say trading is simple, but it's not easy, because we are humans, and everything that works around here in the market is counterintuitive. And most likely, if you don't have someone truthful and honest enough to tell you the reality of trading and guide you through it, you may never be successful in this industry. All these I've told you in this video are things I either learned hard on facing brutal losses, or some I was told by my mentor at the time. Now, you know, profitability is not the end of the journey. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. If you want to scale safely avoid costly mistakes, and take your trading to the next level, I recommend you join my mentorship because I've been where you are and I know the shortcuts that can save you time, money, and stress. The link to my Telegram handle is in the description. Reach out to me. Let's get you to that next level together. Before I forget, this is the video I spoke about earlier, so now you could go watch it. Until I talk to you guys next time, yeah bosh.